Question 2. You had to do a lot more in this one to get the marks than you did in question 1. So still 30 marks, but you have to do a lot more maths to get it, I thought. So they give you a coordinate, k and 2k plus 2 over 3. One of them is your x and one of them is your y. Just substitute them in. You substitute them in, and then we're going to find the value of k, so it's just a lot of rearranging from there. So first thing, I would expand this bracket. So you're going to do minus 6, just multiply by the top. So if you multiply an integer, a whole number, by a fraction, the whole number just times is by the top. It doesn't times by the bottom. You could think of this as 6 over 1 if you wanted, and just times the 1 by the 3. Basically, don't change the 3. Minus 6 by 2 is minus 12, and minus 6 by 2 is minus 12. Very common mistake here. This is not a plus. This is minus. It's minus 6 by 2. Then we've got this fraction here, which we never like. So we could be multiplying everything by 3, but the best thing here is that it actually just divides. So 12 divided by 3 and 12 divided by 3. So that just works out quite nicely. Collect the k's together, collect the numbers together, move the numbers to one side, and then k equals minus 2. Right, part B. Again, they give us an x and a y. Okay, they're letters, but that's x, that's y. We can put them in. And they give you a distance of 1. So we're going to use our distance formula. I won't show you that where it is or anything, but it's page 18, page 19, distance formula. Okay. So we have put the s and the t in there. That's fine. Leave that for now, and then we're going to try and do the distance formula. So we put all the things into the distance formula, and we find that there's an s and a t, which isn't ideal. So there's 2 different letters in the distance formula. We need to work out both the values, and that's not possible if we only take into account this equation here. But what we do, we take our top equation, and we write s in terms of t. So move the 2t over the equals, move the 8 over the equals. They both become positive. So s equals 2t plus 8. Then we can substitute the s here. So it's 4 lots of 2t plus 8. So put that in there. So that's what's going on down here. So you're going to do 4 lots of it. It simplifies all out. So you've got 11t plus 38 at the top, and then you've got root 25 at the bottom. Now, because of the modulus bit, I like to square everything. You don't need to at this point. You could just move this up here and you could say 1's plus, 1's minus. But whenever I see modulus, I'll just square everything, especially if there's a square root. So I've perhaps made this a bit messier than it needs to be, but this is the way I like to do them. If you solve moduluses a different way, that's completely fine. So I'm going to square the top, so it's a double bracket. Gives you some quite interesting numbers, 1,444, massive numbers. Square in the bottom just gives you 25, and then you can multiply it up here by this 1 squared, which is just 1. Okay, so double bracket the top, square that, so the square root's gone, square that, it's still 1, multiply that up to get rid of the fraction, and then you've got a nice quadratic. Move the 25 over by subtracting, and then that's just the minus b. You get t is minus 3 and t is minus 43 over 11. So you've got 2 different t values, and then from there you can work out 2 different s values. It only wants a value of s. Sorry, I'm off the screen a little bit, but it only wants a value of s and a corresponding value of t. So I've chosen my t being minus 3 and my s being 2. Those 2 match up. Once you've got your t's, you can put them, here, and they'll give you your s's. So 2 lots of your t, and then you get your s. Okay, so question 2 is not finished. There's a little bit more to it than that. So, this picture, we need to find the distance from A to D, and we know that this ratio is 2 to 1. So 2 parts here, 1 part here. You can just use the distance formula from A to C, and then share it up into your ratio. So however you normally do your ratios. Distance formula from A to C gives 15. And then, just divide it 2 to 1. I like to say that's 2/3 and that's 1/3. So this is 2/3 of it, which gives you 10. Right. I'm going to have to kind of look at the top as well here, aren't I? So AB is 33 units. and it's horizontal. So if I look up here, this is a horizontal line and it's 33 units. What that means is that this 4 is going to change by 33, but this 2 is going to stay the same because it's horizontal. Okay, so that's just 37.2. There's no real maths, it's just add 33 on there because it's a horizontal distance change. So we've got B, 37.2, but now we need to work out E as well. Okay, so what we could do is we could use the ratio formula here and here to work that one out, or we can work out the ratio formula here and here to work out D, and then we could add on 1/3, because remember the 2 to 1, we could add on 1/3 of 33. I think that's harder, so I'll go back to this. If we've got C and we've got B, let's use the ratio formula, and I'll show you that in a minute, to work out E. So x1, y1, x2, y2, a and b. Notice that it's 1 to 2, it's not 2 to 1 if you've got x1 and y1. If you look in the log tables at the actual formula, hopefully it'll be clear why that has to be the case. But if you go x1, y1 here, that's 1 and that's 2. If you go x1, y1 here, then that's 2 and that's 1, so it's 2 to 1 that way around. So if this is your x1, y1, it's 1 to 2. If this is your x1, y1, it's 2 to 1. And that does matter the order. So, ratio formula, you just put them all in with your a's, b's, x1s, y1s, and you get the e's, 23 and 8.